Hey folks, this is Indiana beat writer Dustin DePirac coming to you from one of my old haunts, the Beaver Stadium press room. Back in State College, not gonna lie, it feels kind of odd. 5 years after I graduated here. Apologize for the appearance. There was baggage issues, that's why I'm not dressed as I typically am. Anyway, back to football. Today, kind of the same old story for Indiana. Yet again, they went up 10-0 in the first half, had four turnovers, had the benefit of four Penn State turnovers, but they only turned those into 7 points, and Penn State came back, and like so many other teams have done this season against Indiana, they won 31-20. So basically, you saw the same kind of disappointment from the Hoosiers that you'd expect more or less because this is the official clincher. They can't get into the postseason now. I mean, obviously, I think since the Northwestern game, most people were figuring that was going to be the end. That was going to be the eventual outcome here. But this finally ended it. Once and for all that Indiana will go yet another year without a bowl game. Things turned at the end of the first half. Penn State kicks a field goal to go up, to make it 10-3, and then came back with a really quick, I think 45, 70-yard 45-second drive that ended on a screen pass to Evan Royster, which Bill Lynch saw a holding call on one end, and pretty much everybody else did too, except the officials because there was no flag. Apparently, I didn't see this, but apparently somebody could read the lips of one Big Ten official saying, "I thought I saw a holding," but one way or another, there was no flag called. 10-10 game at halftime. And from there, Penn State just kind of rolled. The big play, obviously, Navarro Bowman picks off a screen pass that was tipped, I think, at the line, and takes it back 73 yards. And really for them, from that point, Indiana was really on its heels. Penn State just really started rolling offensively, got the running game going, and Indiana tried, really couldn't get much going. They only had 48 rushing yards, I think 7. In the second half, couldn't really get anything going there. Meanwhile, Penn State goes for, I think, 181 yards on the ground, 375 total, to turn this one into a 31-20 win. So Indiana now down to one last game, the Old Okanabucket game next week against Purdue. And I guess that's really kind of what's keeping them going at this point. Obviously, there's some degree of pride still left there. I mean, they're obviously one win up on what they had last year, and a 5-win season at Indiana. While it's certainly not what they were going and shooting for, and certainly not a bowl season, there's been worse seasons in Bloomington, and obviously, at the very least, try to win the bucket game, try to get some kind of trophy out of it, try to salvage something. But at the end of the day, obviously, this team will, it'll be looked at as sort of a disappointment considering just how close they were so many times against obviously some good teams. I mean, had leads on Iowa, Penn State, Michigan, and obviously the huge one on Northwestern that turned into disaster. Obviously played Wisconsin close, but at the end of the day, this Hoosier team, for as many times as it was close, just never really got it done. And that's obviously going to hurt for a lot of seniors. This is a big class that's meant a lot to this program. Brian Payton obviously was talking to us today and talking about how much it hurts that this is going to be, the next week will be the last game of his career, and this team will lose a lot on defense, especially Jamie Curlew, Greg Middleton will be playing their last games. Matt Mayberry, who's played remarkably well, had 15 tackles today plus an interception, is obviously going to be finished. Will Patterson, Ray Fisher is already pretty much finished. Nick Polk, Austin Thomas, they're going to lose a lot on that defense. Offense, a lot is coming back, and they showed, at some points today what they can do with that. DeMarlo Belcher obviously had an amazing touchdown catch that was not overruled this time in the corner of the end zone. Tannen Doss has been impressive as well. Ben Chappell went to the air 51 times, I think, today for 298 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked all right. So, there's obviously some promise left for this program in the future, but next Saturday, they're going to be saying goodbye to a bunch of good ones, and those guys will have only had a chance to play in one bowl game in their careers. So it's kind of another chapter for Indiana going the same way as so many of these have. But, but that's pretty much it. This is the last football game I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be in Puerto Rico next week with basketball, so Corman will be handling Purdue on his own. And that'll be the end of football season. And Hoosiers will have to get together, regroup, figure out what they do next year. Bill Lynch obviously coming back is, got to work some magic, get something going if he, wants to stick around for too much longer. Again, that's all for me. I'm gonna go hit up State College, see my old college town. It's kind of weird, but it'll be a good time too, I'm sure. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the chat today. Appreciate it.